The Softube Classic Channel is a combination of three plugins. The first is the Softube model or emulation of the TubeTech PE1C Pultec style program equalizer. The second is the TubeTech ME1B mid-range equalizer, and the third is the TubeTech CLA1B opto compressor. I'm going to be demonstrating the sound and controls of this plugin by inserting it on the mix bus of my recording session. There are a couple things I want to accomplish with this plugin. The first is I want to glue the mix together. So far I've got the individual instruments sounding pretty good on their own, and I've got their basic level how I want it for the bounce. However, the dynamic range is a little bit all over the place, and so I'm hoping to use the compressor to glue everything together. The second thing is I want to see if there's anything that I can accomplish with the equalizer to improve the overall sound of my mix with all the instruments together. So let's get to it. I've got the plugin in bypass right now. I'll play you just the rough mix so you can hear how it sounds without any processing. Alright, so let me begin by talking about the compressor. What I want to do right off the bat is use the compressor to glue the mix together. Then I'll get to the equalizer. So in order to change the internal routing of the plugin from compressor before EQ to EQ before compressor, you can use this switch to change the internal routing. Sometimes it's better to have the equalizer before the compressor, or sometimes you want the compressor before the EQ. I'm going to use it in this mode because I know later on I'm also going to use a different kind of dynamic processor, a limiter, as the final stage of my mix bus. So I've got a compressor before EQ. I'm going to activate or enable the plugin, and what I'm going to do right off the bat is just turn the EQ off. You can either do that with these switches over here, or you can also click on the LED up here. Alright, let me start out with the compressor. What I'm going to do is use a low ratio, around 2:1, because at this point I just want to do subtle compression. I don't want it to be too noticeable, but I want there to be some actual glue taking place. Next, I'm going to play around with the threshold. It's in the lowest setting right now and off, and as I increase it, I'm going to watch the gain reduction meter and see if I can get between about 1 closer to 2 dB of gain reduction. If you're on a Mac computer, which I am, you can use the command key to increase these things or decrease the knobs in smaller steps like this. So I'm going to use that and listen carefully to when I start to hear a little bit of compression taking place on my mix. So I've got to the point it's a little bit too much, so now I'm just going to back it off. What I can do to monitor how I'm affecting the signal is use the makeup gain, get it up here. You can watch the meter down here to how much I'm adding. Just about 1.5, 1.6 dB of gain I'm using as makeup gain to compensate for the gain reduction I've added in. Let me play it back now. I'll bypass it and then activate it. One thing I notice is that the transient of my drums are getting a little bit too squashed. They're a little bit too compressed. So what I'm going to do is back off the attack, make it slower so that the transient is going to go through the compressor. Then look at how I can use the release and the threshold So I'm still around 2 dB of compression. Alright, I like what I've done with the compression so far. Next, let me move on to the equalizer. I'll start out with the full text style. What I'm going to do is use the boost and attenuation of the low frequency together around 60 or 100 hertz. See if I can use it. It's a low shelf, but when you work these two things together, what you actually get is a low frequency boost, and then right above it, the frequencies, you get a little bit of a cut, a little bit of a scoop, and that works well on an overall mix if you want to do things like increase the presence of the kick drum without it sounding too boxy or anything like that. So I'll do that next. I like it right about there. Next is the high frequency peaking filter. And you use these three things together, the boost and then a high frequency frequency selector and then the bandwidth. I know that for the overall mix, I want a fairly broad EQ, and then I'll boost and find the right frequency. Alright, I like that. Next, I'll see if I want to add any attenuation of the really high frequencies by using this one. Just take out a little bit of the harshness. Now, I'm going to look for a mid-range frequency that maybe I want to dip. I've got it basically how I like now. Let's see if I need to make up any output gain. Great, now I'll just bypass it and then activate it and you can hear the difference. I tightened up the mix, I made it a little bit brighter, made the overall mix have a little bit more presence.